Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Off Track TV Live, coming to you live from the Weedsport Speedway Production Studios in, of course, Weedsport, New York. My name is the voice, Shane Andrews, and joining me, as he always does, Dan Kapuscinski. Hi, Dan.
Shane, how we doing?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Excellent. Feeling good after a big weekend at the World Finals.
Yeah, we're both coming back from the dirt track of Charlotte. Well, we've both been back for a couple of days now. We just didn't get in. They did let us back in the state a couple of days ago. And Dan, what a weekend down there. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. Want to remind everybody, you can check us out, obviously, here on Facebook Live and everything. And also give us a hit at info@weedsportproductions.com or on Facebook, or you can hit us up on Twitter. I'm at NYVoice13.
Yep. At Dan_Kapuscinski.
And we'll take your questions and try to solve all the world's problems a little bit later on in the show. Well, Dan, you mentioned World Finals.
Yeah.
Pretty much the, I guess, the crescendo for 2021 for all of the touring divisions underneath the World Racing Group banner, Super Dirt Car Series, NOS Energy Drinks World of Outlaws Sprint Cars, and, of course, the Morton Buildings World of Outlaws Late Model Series, and the Big Block Modifieds taking center stage last Friday night for a 40-lap battle, and Brett the Jet Hearn in the number 20 drew the pole position.
He sure did. Mike Mahaney, unfortunately, ran into some issues early on in this one. Kevin Root got collected as well, but Shane Brett was running really good all weekend long, but one of the drivers on the move early on was that number 84 machine of Alex Yankowski.
And you see Brett Hearn bobbles just there a little bit right there. Lightning Larry White takes off. Larry White is gone. He's checked out, tipped the bellhop, and said goodbye. He was running away, had a 5-second lead at one point, but here comes Alex Yankowski in that number 84Y looking to take the third spot away from Brett Hearn.
Yeah, Alex was certainly on his A game all day long, set quick time, won his heat race, was trying to now pull off the hat trick in this 40-lap main event.
Next in line was the Jack Lehner number 2L. He'll dispose of him and take over position number 2. But Larry White was checked out. Lightning had a fast race car.
Yeah, he certainly did. The racetrack was very fast on Friday night. Larry, of course, does really well in those types of conditions, and he really had run away and was hiding from the rest of the field here early on in this one.
But the dreaded yellow lights come on for the Batman. Peter Britton, his arch enemy, the flat tire, gets him in the number 21A.
Yeah, unfortunately cut a right rear down, and that set up a tremendous three-car battle here for a few laps between Lightning Larry, Yankowski, and the 88 machine of Matt Williamson. But as we would soon see, Yankowski would certainly rise to the top in this three-car battle.
That's a veteran move right there from top to bottom to take the 2 spot away from Matt Williamson, but he wasn't finished. Larry White leading the way, but not for long. Alex Yankowski swings it high, wide, and handsome, throws the slider off a 4 or into 3, and takes the lead away from Larry White to take over the number 1 spot.
Yeah, and I think much to everybody's surprise, once Yankowski got out front, he really charged away and was well in control of this one. A veteran move and a fantastic day for Alex Yankowski.
Alex Yankowski, 17-year-old chauffeur out of Covington Township, Pennsylvania, picking up his very first Super Dirt Car Series win in front of a packed house on a national stage.
Yeah, it was certainly a dramatic victory. Was very happy to have been there to witness that with my own 2 eyes, the youngest winner in series history.
You know, Dan, I think we should celebrate Alex Yankowski's win.
I agree.
Why don't we bring Alex Yankowski into the show, ladies and gentlemen? There he is, the newest winner on the Super Dirt Car Series, Alex Yankowski, 17-year-old winner of the Super Dirt Car Series down at Charlotte. Alex, first and foremost, congratulations on that big win on a national stage.
Yeah, thanks, Shane. Just one of those days where the car was good and the boys did their job, and I was just fortunate enough to be able to drive it.
Alex, what was your realistic expectations heading into this weekend? You know, one of the biggest races in Super Dirt Car Series schedule, 10,000 to win both nights, very, very stout field. I mean, what would have been a good weekend for your 84 machine heading in?
I think just a couple solid top tens. I think that would have been great. And to do, that little bit more, I think that was huge. Just good morale for the team, and especially heading off into the wintertime here, just gives you a little bit more of a motivation all winter long.
You set fast time earlier in the night. You won your heat race. Obviously, the draw didn't go the way you wanted it to. Obviously, you wanted to start in the front row, but nonetheless, you had a very good race car for the entire event. Let's go through that battle with Matt Williamson and Larry White on that last restart. That was a crafty veteran move to take the 2 spot away back from the 88 of Matt Williamson. Take us through it from the driver's standpoint.
We were in Bridgeport a lot, so that kind of slider style racing I've been getting used to the past couple of years here. So just it was just good to race with guys that are clean, and you don't have to worry about any crude racers, and just a good race, I thought, as a fan and as a driver.
Alex, Larry had checked away early on in that one. When did you start to have the seat in your pants feel that you might have something for him, that you could contend for that win there in the late stages?
I felt the car was pretty good at the drop of the green. Just the matter of making the right moves and not making mistakes, and just taking advantage of the gaps that were there and the runs that I got. Once really a couple restarts there, made good hay one time, and then everyone kind of drove back by me. So I don't know, just good race. Didn't make many mistakes, which was huge, especially against guys like that. So, and we had luck on our side there with that yellow. I don't know what would have happened. I think Larry might have been too far gone. I think we had a really good hot rod, and probably the best one on the track. But that gap was pretty big.
You're no stranger to big money event wins. You won the Danny Sereno Memorial at Bridgeport in 2020. Earlier this year, you won the Coal Cracker down at Big Diamond. That's a $17,000 to win payday. So you're no stranger to staying cool under pressure. And I've got to tell you, Alex, for a 17-year-old young man, I'm impressed with how composed you stayed over those last couple of laps. Like you said, not making any mistakes. But take us through your mindset. What was going through your mind with one to go when you saw that white flag come out in Charlotte?
Just keep four wheels on the ground and then keep on trucking. It was just another lap. A lot of the time people hear stuff, and I've been there before. So just trying to run another lap that I ran, 39 other ones. So just, another lap. Don't really overthink it. We got a really calm and good group of guys. So when you're surrounded by that, it really wears off on you.
So, Alex, obviously, not the biggest payday in your career, but arguably probably the biggest win in your career, only from the standpoint of the thousands of people that were in the grandstands, everybody tuning in live on Dirt Vision. What has the reception been like since returning home?
Yeah, kind of crazy. I never really had this popular of a win before. I think definitely the biggest one of my career so far, and it's kind of hard to beat Charlotte. Everybody's there, so. To be able to win Charlotte in front of all my product sponsors, new opportunities, lots of phone calls, a lot of stuff going on. So we'll see what next year brings, and hopefully we can get some more of those.
Taking a look into the future, Alex, you're a former sportsman driver. You're now in the big block modified ranks. What are your aspirations as a racer? Do you want to do more than just big block modified racing?
It's $1 million question, I think. Just got to see what the opportunities come about. You never really know. One phone call makes you look at things a lot different. So that's a good question. Hopefully I can answer that question in like 50 years.
Well, I think probably a few people tuning in that might be seeing or hearing from Alex Yankowski the first time. Give us a little bit of a background on what else you do outside of the race car. What do you have going on, school and whatnot? Let's put a face to the name.
Trying to keep up with the academic side. I'm a junior at Holy Cross High School in Dunmore. And I take the honors classes and AP class. So kind of try to challenge myself in that aspect of it. But it's a lot going on. Once school started, definitely got a lot harder. But now I finally got my license. Lets me do a little bit more than just, a lot of coffee and just keep on trucking. Don't think about what you got to do, tomorrow. You just one day at a time and stay on top of things.
What's the plan for 2022 for the 84Y team?
I don't really know. I think we're going to travel a little bit more, probably get in the slick a little bit more, try and run some more big block stuff if we could. Hopefully we can get some more partners going that allows me to race a little bit more. I think that's definitely the biggest thing that I need to work on is just getting some more partnership going. And hopefully that'll make me better down the road.
So building towards 2022, what's the off-season preparation look like right now for the race team?
We're in the shop now. Just came out of here, so I had to change a shirt. And Batesy and Brucey and Petey are here tonight. Dennis isn't with us tonight. He's working. So we're really just trying to get organized, clean everything back up. It's been a long season, and we're just trying to put ourselves in a better spot for next year. Hopefully we could race a little bit more and race against the better guys.
We pose this question to a lot of drivers that have come on to the show with us in 2021. Alex, if there was a racetrack that you wanted to race your big block modified on that you could choose in the nation, where would you want to take that big block?
That's a good question. Definitely like to go out to Eldora one time. That's definitely one of the most premier racetracks. So, I don't know. Maybe that'll happen soon.
Well, he's already won on the national stage at Charlotte. I wouldn't be surprised if he won at Eldora, too.
Absolutely. And I was going to say a nice big wide track like that probably fit your driving style pretty well, too.
Yeah, I like the bigger tracks. Sometimes racing on these little narrow racetracks get a little frustrating when you're three wide with two other guys and everyone's running all over the track. It gets a little frustrating when it's not that racy and there's not really that much room to do anything. So, when you get on bigger tracks like Bridgeport and Charlotte and Port Royal, in a place like Fonda, it's really cool. I mean, those are kind of the racetracks I enjoy the most, and fortunately, I've been able to run decent at them.
Well, every time that I've seen you at the racetrack, whether it was at Bridgeport for the Super Dirt Series or even when you've brought the modified or the Sportsman up here to Weedsport, and especially this weekend at Charlotte, I've got to tell you, I am impressed with Alex Yankowski.
Absolutely.
Really, I am impressed, Alex, with your driving and your ability, and I'm a fan. I'll be perfectly honest with you. And I'm not supposed to say I have drivers that I root for, but I'm a fan of Alex Yankowski.
Thanks, Shane. Like I said, it just all comes back to good people. My dad has built a great race team here. Me and Kevin Bates have been working really, really good together, trying to get the right pieces of the puzzle together. I think that's the biggest thing, especially it's just kind of a new program. We didn't really have that much space when we first started, and we kept adding on and getting more stuff and acquiring more stuff. And, we're just really busting our butts here, the past couple of years. And well, hopefully we bust our butts for a long time.
Well, we look forward to seeing you out on the road somewhere in either central New York or Pennsylvania or New Jersey, wherever we might find you next year. Best of luck to you and for next season. We look forward to talking to you again and have a good time back in the shop with the guys and good luck with all the school work you've got to do. And thanks for coming on and congratulations on your big win down there in Charlotte.
Thanks, Shane. Hope to see you soon.
All right, Alex Yankowski, very well-spoken young man out of Pennsylvania. I'm impressed. Very cool under pressure. Like we said, he's got those big wins under his belt, but you're on a national stage. You're 17 years old. You're wheeling a 2,500-pound, 800 horsepower big block modified against Hall of Fame caliber drivers and picking up a win. It's impressive.
Absolutely. Very calm under pressure, well-spoken young man, like you said, Shane, and he gets his hands dirty. He's in the shop doing the things he needs to do, and a very, very bright future ahead for Alex Yankowski.
Well, as a racer, that's where the races are won, right?
Absolutely. If you don't show up prepared, you're not going anywhere.
Absolutely right. Well, we're just getting started here on Off Track TV. When we return, we're going to take a trip back to Charlotte for night number 2 of the World Finals with the Big Block Modifieds. More on Off Track TV coming your way.
It's a nice truck.
Yeah, it's a Chevy Silverado. Check out this multi-flex tailgate.
Multi-flex, huh?
Come step.
Mom, Dad's flexing again.
That's not all. You can extend the bed for longer stuff.
Is he still?
Still flexing.
That's right. And it becomes a workspace. You can put your laptop here. I'm sending an imaginary email.
Hey, Dad, dinner!
Hey, look who stopped by Daddy's office.
Wait, you work here?
The Chevy Silverado with the available multi-flex tailgate. Find new flexibility, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Weedsport Productions is the live video production company that you need at your next event. Our mobile production truck is outfitted with the most advanced broadcast equipment in the industry. Weedsport Productions covers racing, live sporting events, corporate events, and concerts. We can broadcast your event live, stream it to the internet, or produce an exciting in-venue experience for your audience. Visit weedsportproductions.com now to learn more.
Welcome back to Off Track TV. Shane Andrews along with Dan Kapuscinski. And Dan, before we get into night number 2 of the World Finals, I guess we need to explain and preface to everybody why we didn't do 40 laps on Saturday night.
Oh yeah, well, it was one of those situations where it was cold.
Yes.
I
don't know. I was in a warm booth. I don't know what you're talking about.
I could not have layered up more on Saturday. Cold weather. There had been some talk of some pending weather that may have been coming in later in the evening. Track had dried up a little bit as well. All 3 divisions actually saw a reduction in laps just to help everybody kind of move the program through a little bit quicker. And honestly, I don't think most people really even took note. It was a fantastic night of racing, top to bottom in all 3 classes, despite a little reduction in laps.
So we had a 30-lap battle for the Super Dirt Car Series on Saturday night number 2, the finale of the 2021 season. And for the second night in a row, Brett Hearn brought the field down to green.
Yeah, he had the hot hand. We had the SRI Performance redraw, $500 going to the driver that drew the pole in both races, and Brett pulled number 1. First hat out of the bag both times.
Extra $1,000 never hurts. Rocky Warner in that 98 car, the Jason Simmons racing ride here out of Oswego, New York, running very well, but rear end braking on that car.
Yeah, unfortunately, the rear axle broke, ended up taking out the whole rear end housing in that car. I think Rocky really had something for Brett there in the early stages, but that allowed Brett to restart out in front as Peter Britton and Matt Shepard started to make their way up through the field.
Matt Williamson, then at number 88, holding on to position number 4, and then we had this skirmish. We have Dwayne Howard in the middle of that one with the 83X of Tim Sears Jr. As we go back to green, the Batman Peter Britton going after the Jet, the 20 car holding off the 21. Isn't that how 2021? Isn't that numerically correct?
Right, exactly. Well, the one driver that was really charging hard was the 32C of Max McLaughlin. I believe he started all the way back in the 30th position in this 30-lap main event, clawing his way up towards the top 5. But Shane, tires were also a story in this one. Drivers were all over the map in terms of compound. Most of the drivers were on the 500 right rear. Peter Britton was on the 400.
As Peter Britton in the 21A and the number 9S of Matt Shepard, who is crowned with his 8th series title after this weekend in the number 9S. He comes home on the podium. But this one, on this night, it was all Brett the Jet Hearn.
And how cool was it to have the youngest winner in series history on Friday night? Brett, 63 years old, becomes the oldest winner in series history on Saturday. We'll say the most veteran winner in series history. And he has run every single modified race at the dirt track at Charlotte and is now the all-time winningest driver at that speedway.
His 30th start, his 5th win at the dirt track at Charlotte. An emotional win for Brett the Jet Hearn. He's like, really? How did that happen?
Well, I got just a great sense of relief from Brett. We had a chance to talk as soon as the race was over. He felt like he was going to be stuck on that 919 number for the rest of time. He was not sure if there was going to be another checkered flag that was going to come his way, and then it ends up coming on one of the biggest stages in dirt racing to notch number 920, kind of a fitting number. If that's where he stays, it wouldn't be a bad one to end on.
I want to say that was, I think, maybe his 8th race of 2021 that he raced. He raced down at Volusia, hit and miss here and there throughout the year. He strapped behind the wheel once, maybe twice out at Orange County First Speedway, the track that he promotes. But a history-making weekend, Dan. The youngest winner on Friday, the most veteran winner on Saturday.
Absolutely. It was fun to see. And, great racing top to bottom all the way through the field, a very stout field. And Shane, it was just nice, to be back at the dirt track at Charlotte. The Modifieds didn't have the opportunity to go there last year because of the COVID situation. There were smiles on everybody's face. They were happy to be down south, although we were a little upset that we brought our weather with us down there. But it was just a great weekend top to bottom and 2 fantastic winners.
Well, let's take a minute and just reflect on the 2021 season. We'll start with the World Finals. Like you said, it was great to be back there. We missed 2020 because of the pandemic, but to be back in the heart of racing, the Charlotte Concord area was phenomenal. 42 Super Dirt Car Series teams came down. Alex Yankowski, Brett Hearn, congratulations to them on their wins. But we can't overlook the fact that Matt Shepard has been crowned for the 8th time the Super Dirt Car Series champion.
Yeah, no doubt. We were talking about it before the race on Saturday. Certainly rarefied air across all forms of motorsports. You don't see many drivers anywhere that have won 8 or more championships in any division across the board. But it was kind of nice for Matt at the same time to be able to come down to Charlotte. The championship was already wrapped up. He could go out and run a couple races, have fun, go out there and do what he needed to do to try to get to victory lane. He didn't have a very good night on Friday. He said, pretty much everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, but had a nice drive on Saturday to get on the podium and then, of course, end up on the grand podium at the end of the night as the champion.
So as we look back at the 2021 season, obviously we still didn't get to enjoy our friends from the great country of Canada.
Correct.
Borders still closed. That's eventually going to open up. Who knows when, but they've thrown dates out there, but they keep moving them. But all our Canadian friends, we really missed everybody, our friends, our fans, and the competitors this year. How many cars would we have had at Super Dirt Week if the border was open?
Yeah, it's kind of amazing to think about in all reality. But we had a lot of Canadian fans joining us through Dirt Vision, through Twitter. Kudos to the DirtVision.com folks for being able to bring all the Super Dirt Car Series to everybody worldwide this year. The races top to bottom, and looking forward to more of that in 2022. But once we can have those Canadians back, it will really have that homecoming feel.
Absolutely. And we did get to see a few folks over the border as things started to get a little bit more lenient, but unfortunately we didn't get to see everybody, so we look forward to seeing everyone back in 2022. Dan, as we look back and we reflect on the end of the season, any surprises, anything that jumps out to you off the top of your head about 21 racing wise that stands out?
Well, what I was happy to see in 2021 was the influx of new competitors following the series. And I think that was a very big story to go along, obviously, with the veteran leadership in the tour, but the likes of Chris Heil, Timmy Sears, Kevin Root coming out full-time, and those other up-and-coming drivers, and Jack Lehner and Demetrius Strelos obviously has a series win, but, still gaining momentum. Right. The future is very bright for the Super Dirt Car Series.
Absolutely. And, as I look back on 2021, I take away how good Stuart Friesen is.
Oh, absolutely.
And how good Matt Shepard is in a modified. Probably the two most prolific winners once again in 2021 behind the wheel of a big block modified. And they just continue to impress me. And to sit back, and sometimes I get lost in the moment and I become a fan for just a minute and see what they do. It's impressive. It really is.
Yeah, and for me growing up, not having been around the dirt side of things my entire life, hearing the old school stories of the Brett Hearns and the Jack Johnsons and Alan and Danny, the guys that could go to any speedway and win at any given night, this is my generation sort of seeing of that with Matt and Stu. These competitors, they want to run against the best, but I don't think they're very happy when they see the 9S and the 44 come in, because they immediately know those are the two guys they're going to have to beat.
And of course, in 2021, the resurgence of racing in Central New York after a year off, literally, with the pandemic, to see all the tracks in Central New York and across the Northeast running at full song once again.
It just felt good.
It did.
It felt good to know you could hit your
normal.
Brewertons, your Fultons, get the Weedsport, and see your buddies again in the grandstands, and just makes us yearn even more for the season to come in 2022. It's going to feel even more like home.
And we also saw in the sportsman division, there's always that one driver that seems to have that breakout year that goes to the next step, and I think this year was Matt Janzik's year, picking up the Central Region Championship and then, of course, the overall Super Dirt Car Series Sportsman Championship.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, but, I also had my eyes on Zach Payne as well. He's already kind of dabbling in the modified ranks as well, but did really, really great things here at Weedsport, and that sportsman division, so much fun to keep an eye on in the next line of rising talent.
And we better give a shout out to the chicken wing master up there in Hannibal, New York, Mike Fowler in that 410, picking up a couple of wins as well.
Absolutely. Big Papa getting it done.
That's right. Absolutely. When we return here on Off Track TV Live, Dan and I will take your questions and we'll put a wrap on the 2021 season here at Weedsport. Don't go anyplace.
Weedsport Speedway is home of the fastest cars and biggest stars. With over $1 million in recent upgrades, our fans know this is the premier race destination in the Northeast. The fan experience is at the forefront of everything we do. LED light shows, luxury suites, premium stadium seating, and a 27-foot HD video display to engage and entertain fans. And by the way, our fans? Yeah, our fans kick ass. They are committed and loyal. They bring their families to races. They consistently engage with us over social media, on our website, and tune into our incredible productions airing on national TV and streaming online. This year features an exciting season of events. It's a blast to go fast. Want to talk to a growing audience and next-generation fans? Customized sponsorship opportunities make it super easy. We have event sponsorships, product sponsorships, digital billboards, web, social, digital ads, race day displays and signage, booths and promotions. Video opportunities both in venue, on national TV, and streaming online. The drivers, the excitement, the speed. The Port Burgers are why fans show up. At Weedsport Speedway, our venue and production are the reason they keep coming back. Be a part of the best season yet.
Welcome back to Off Track TV Live. I'm Shane Andrews, and joining me, as he always does, the man who was voted with the best hair of all the pit reporters down at the World Finals in 2021, Dan Kapuscinski. Dan, this is our final show for 2021 for Off Track TV Live.
Yeah, Shane, it's hard to believe. The season really flew by. We were talking about it earlier, that summer stretch when you're literally got something going on nearly every night, and, we're winding down a little bit here in the fall, but it's nice to chat and kind of look back on 2021 and what a great year it was, and to be able to do it with everybody tuning in all year long has certainly been a joy for us.
I want to give a shout out to Josh Riom and his son for tuning in tonight. They caught us on our last episode, and they said they are now fans and they're not going to miss an episode. So Josh and your son, thanks for tuning in, and we're going to have more stuff in 2022. As a matter of fact, what do you say we get to answering some questions? We'll solve some of the world's problems and create a few.
Let's do it.
All right. Summer Sam 10 asks, what are your predictions for 2022?
Well, in terms of the Super Dirt Car Series, I'm going to see Chris Heil finally get his first Super Dirt Car Series win. Okay. Going to see that. Yep. That's definitely one for me. But in terms of a champion, boy, it's kind of hard to say. I'm gonna see that. I'm gonna look for Peter Britton, I think, to finally get that notch up and maybe dethrone Super Matt.
Well, if I had to predict anything for 2022, I'm going to say my taxes will continue to go higher. Gas prices will still be through the roof. And racing will once again be in full form and thrive in central New York.
For sure.
Once again in 2022. I know here we sit on Veterans Day. And by the way, thank you to all the veterans out there that served our country to allow Dan and I to have the freedoms to be able to do this and everything we do. So thank you. But I predict for 2022 that racing is going to thrive once again, and we're going to get back to some form of normality even more, and we're going to enjoy each other's camaraderie that much. And I echo the sentiments that I think Chris Heil could get that first series win, and I don't even dare try and guess who would be the champion in 2022. But if conventional wisdom tells me it's somebody with the last name or the first name of Matt, because that's the champions that we've seen for the last 8 years.
That is true.
Matt Shepard could possibly be that 9th series championship in 2022. So
very excited to see how it plays out.
Yes, and those are my bold predictions. And I think we'll also see somebody break out in the sportsman ranks once again as well.
Absolutely.
Giants fan 81. You know this person?
Oh, boy.
I don't know why they're
There aren't many left, are there?
No. They want to know, is there any information on what is happening at Weedsport next season?
Well, what we do know for a fact is that the World of Outlaw Sprint cars are going to make their return. I believe it's going to be, I think it's right along the same end weekend in July. Mm-hmm. We can post that up here relatively soon. But yeah, we're just working on trying to get things finalized, planning on more bigger and better things for the 2022 season. That includes at the Cartway as well. So we're going to have some information here in the coming weeks to put out for everybody.
Alex Yankowski, our guest earlier tonight, asked this question earlier, and I told him that I'd put it in the show. He wants to know, why doesn't Shane use the Viagra line anymore?
That is a popular question.
That is a very popular question, and here is the answer. I've been using that line since 1999. Really? That's how long I've been using it, yeah.
Wow.
So what is that math real quick, 30 years?
Something
20
like that.
years. 20 years. See, I was never good at English either. trying to make myself out.
We're racers, not mathematicians.
Yeah, that's right. I've been using that line for 20 years, and this year I just decided I want to use something different to tie it in with what the sponsor or what the program is for the show. So that's why the Viagra line was put away this year.
And really, Shane, I've loved that because you always have a special tie into whatever we have going on between each event, and I always look forward to what you're going to come up with next.
It's thrown a few people off in the grandstand that always like to say it with me,
right?
And there are a lot of people, and I appreciate all the fans asking me thank you, but that is the reason why.
Absolutely.
Dan, this is our last episode of 2021, but fear not, we will be back in 2022. As a matter of fact, the Motorsports Show in Syracuse is Saturday and Sunday, March 12th and 13th of 2022, and I am told we're going to do an off-track TV show live on Saturday, March 12th.
Those are some of my favorite that we've done in the past. The opportunity to do those shows live right there from the expo. That'll be a busy weekend for me. I'll be running over at the indoor facility with the go-kart as well. So we'll get me some sort of a trolley.
I was just going to ask you how we.
I'll ride the cart over.
That's what we're going to have to do. Michael will probably drive you.
There you go.
Well, Dan, it's been a great year once again. Always a pleasure to work with you.
Absolutely, Shane. You as well.
Thank you, and we've had a great time here on Off Track TV for 2021. And we hope you have too. Dan, any final thoughts?
Just so happy to have heard of the fans that we've had, that we've been building here, like Josh Riome and others that are tuned in, and we hope you come back with us next year as we have more and more exciting things to share.
And I want to say thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We wish all of you and your families a very healthy and safe off season for 2021. And we look forward to seeing you again in 2022. For everybody here at Weedsport Productions in their studio, Brett Moses and Don Boshin behind the cameras and the screens that make us look and sound good. For my good friend Dan Kapuscinski, my name is the voice Shane Andrews saying thank you for joining us. We'll see you in 2022 right here on Off Track TV.